Good morning, everybody. It's another edition of Sports Saturday. This week on what's the date today, Bruce? I'm losing my dates.
It is Saturday, July 11th.
July 11th, and we're here at on my uh, in the morning, and I'm just looking for everything seems to be working. I hope I have everything going, but yes, we are on positively. I see the second hand going. So,
Good.
welcome everybody. It is officially close to 9 o'clock. Bruce Barati's with me here on Jack Logic Sports Saturday. Another show, another week. A lot to talk about. Not so much locally because high school sports until early August will be in the background, Bruce.
Yeah, that'll start probably a little more than a month.
Yeah, August 9th, I think, is the first football
That's the
practice.
first. Okay. Yeah, that's early.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess that's the way the calendar.
yeah. It used to be
falls.
August 18th when I was in school because
Right.
I'm an old man. So.
Of course, that's when back in the days when the first game was being played in
And
the first week in
second week
in September.
second week or third week even.
Yeah.
Sometime. So not much to talk about locally. Jeff Achenzi, my partner, hopefully we'll be back next week to shed some light on things. But Bruce will gab to you for the first half hour. We'll have some great guests. Corky Blake will come on at 9:30. And then Jude Sant will be at 10, and of course at 10:30, Bruce Nagy from the West Coast. And Bruce has a lot of thoughts. Talked to him last night. So Bruce, this week, like I said, locally nothing has really happened unless at least you know something I don't know.
No, I don't. It's July is pretty much it's kind of a
Down
kind of
month.
an arid area when it comes to local sports, but
Yeah.
we certainly have a lot to talk about on the
Yeah,
national level.
yeah, it's a down month, but there's one thing I do want to mention is from really reliable sources. Notre Dame lost their wrestling coach 6 weeks ago.
Right.
Matt Veers retired.
Mm-hmm.
I heard from a legitimate source last night. The reason there is no new coach at Notre Dame yet, right? There were no applicants.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's hard to believe. I mean, that's a pretty solid.
Oh,
Very
man,
solid
great program. Yes, they won
Yeah.
district and regional team championships last year. Matt, in the 4 years at Double A, really helped dominate the state of Pennsylvania
Yes.
before Faith Christian and other schools got involved, Bishop McDevitt, etc. Bishop McCourt, and now the Crusaders, who went from and also ran in Colonial League in wrestling,
Right.
became the power of the Colonial League.
Yeah.
So yeah, I to my source, I want to mention him. He's fantastic. He might not even mind if I did, but I don't want to take a chance.
Sure.
We're just surprised that even a up and coming youth coach
Yeah.
would not throw his hat in the ring and say I want to go to the next level, because Notre Dame right now is a private school with no limitations of getting kids in. It may change in a year
Yeah.
because the state's House voted that maybe have separate playoffs in
Yeah.
for bordering schools and public schools. That could change, but right now they have a number of decent wrestlers coming back, but no applicants. That's a shock.
I'm not real versed on the inner workings of that program, but Matt had to have had a couple assistant coaches.
Well, his dad was his number one assistant coach, and his dad went with him out.
I see.
Yeah.
And there was nobody else.
Well, they had a volunteer. They had a couple volunteers.
Uh-huh.
So it just surprises me because Notre Dame has really, for the last 6 years under Matt Veers, has done a fantastic job, individually and team wise.
You would think that, like in the CYO programs,
Yes,
they
I mean-
have, that whoever, a lot of these kids, I'm sure, probably had decent contact
Yeah,
with a lot of these youth coaches.
and I'm shocked that the alumni, because Notre Dame has a nice alumni,
Yes.
nice alumni, and they're putting a lot of money into the Green Pond campus.
Yeah.
That somebody, I'm not saying has empty pockets. He's gonna,
Yeah.
but you think they could make it more attractive, even if it's something to do monetarily.
Yeah. Well, also, it is early. we're only in the second week of
July.
July.
Yes.
So and the program doesn't start till
Well, you got it.
the
It's
winter,
wrestling's 24 weeks a year. I mean, weeks a year.
Yeah, yeah. There's no question
And
about that.
the problem is for the Notre Dame program right now is if you've gone through a CYO program or you're say a devout Catholic
Mm-hmm.
and your kids have always gone to Catholic schools, you know, Bethlehem Catholics out there and right down the road, and
Yeah.
you know they could really poach some kids.
Not only
there.
poach some kids, but maybe poach some coaches or a coach out of that program.
Yeah. So
I mean, you know,
By the-
you're certainly more,
Up-
have an ear to the ground than I do on that.
by the
side.
same token, if you live in the Nazareth bordering area
Yeah,
and you're not a junior yet, you're allowed to transfer up to your freshman and sophomore years without penalties. You know, the Nazareth program could look good too.
yeah,
If you live in Palmer or Forts Township or Easton,
yeah,
the Easton program could look good to you. So these kids are, you know, their parents are looking out for their kids. So
yeah,
I haven't heard any transfers yet, but like I said, if it doesn't get solved soon, I'm sure parents are going to get antsy and say
that's right.
Johnny should go here next year,
Yeah.
and we're going to transfer him. And,
Yeah, you would
and then
think-
the cover's going to become a little bare,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
then the position will not be as attractive
yes,
as it should be.
right. I have to agree with you. This is baffling. Why you would think in their situation, even though it is early, it would behoove them to, name somebody as soon as possible. So the kids that are coming back and kids who, look at like freshmen coming into the program, they kind of want to know like who's going to be coaching the program
Yes.
before they make a decision.
Oh, definitely. And you want the right person, like I said.
Yes. Yeah.
So no applicants yet, as I understood it, as of last night or as of Friday, and I'm sure the Crusaders are looking in their athletic department. So I wish them the best, and parents of these returning wrestlers will have to make some decisions in the upcoming weeks
Yeah.
to stay patient. I know one thing I'll say I've heard through the grapevine from Notre Dame High School, just inside the school, they've done a great job. I mean, they're doing a good job with academics. It's a really nice, conducive atmosphere for your
Yeah.
young man or young lady.
Right.
Because I've heard otherwise at other schools that it's not as nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, we'll see what happens. And next week we may have a new wrestling coach. One may come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about it. Anything I can tell you locally. August 9th, football practice starts for Rural in Pennsylvania. Their first game is a week later this year, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
August 28th instead of August 22nd because Labor Day falls late.
Yeah.
And we have our Eastern listeners. They open up in Doylestown against a real good CB West program. CB West beat Easton 2 years ago, 21-12 down there. Easton won 6-20 this year at Cottingham. So they've had two great games. So that should be a great opener. Easton loses a lot of kids, but I'm sure Coach Matt Seneca is putting those kids through their paces. Mike Fleming's their offensive line coach. Brian Falcone's their defense coordinator, along with his dad, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam has no title, but
Yeah. He
Sam's
definitely
involved.
Definitely has fingerprints.
and which
in
is
the
good.
program.
Which is good. And I love seeing Sam on Friday nights, either at Cottingham on our road. We always have a nice chit chat.
Yeah. As we spoke about this off air earlier, Easton is kind of in I guess you would say, a rebuilding program.
We're hoping it's reloading, but it could be rebuilding.
Yes, the only 3 returning starters, and that's on both sides
Yeah,
of the ball.
that's
right?
how 22 positions.
Yeah, so that's not a lot coming back, but like you say, they reestablished themselves as a premier program in the area, and you never really know the kids that were buried on the depth chart last year.
Didn't get invaluable
might be-
experience.
Yes, and also they might be a lot better player than
Right.
people anticipated.
Yeah.
People just don't know it yet.
You remember Yaya McGurn, I
Yes,
guess,
yep.
and he passed away 3 months ago.
Did not know that.
Oh yes, Yaya passed away, and his son is right now running first team at quarterback at Easton.
Yeah, I knew that was his son. I didn't know that Yaya passed away.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is
really
sad. Yeah. So his son's the front runner at quarterback, Sean McPeak, who was a quarterback in ninth grade, very successful, but the last 3 years has played. Last 2 years has been playing wide receiver and also defensive halfback, and was first team defensive halfback all state as a junior. I think he might be the first one in Easton history to be all state in two sports, football, and of course he has a full ride to Lafayette College for lacrosse. So he returns. He could be the emergency quarterback, but they prefer him to play both ways.
Okay.
And be a receiver and help let Mr. McGurn out.
Yeah, it's tough to have a quarterback that plays both ways.
Yeah.
Even at small schools where you don't have a lot of players.
Yeah.
But
and to protect him, like I said, with a real new offensive line, Judd Kostover in Easton's two tight end offense, and H-back is one of the returnees there. McPeak we just mentioned, and Foreman, who played really good Thanksgiving Day, is a real good defensive halfback too. So we'll see what happens. Rumor has it Parkland and Freedom are the teams to beat in the EPC early on. And one a really nice twist before we go talk some Philadelphia, New York sports is that the Phillipsburg State Liners will open their season, I guess, September 4th at Maloney Field. I still call it field instead of stadium.
Yeah, right.
It's Maloney Stadium at Harold Bells Field. And Harold Bells is one of my favorite people, so I better refer to it that way.
Right.
But they'll open against Parkland.
Okay.
That should be quite an opening. The State Liners, I guess New Jersey has a new rule that you got to play 62.5% against your state.
Right.
It used to be 100%.
Yeah.
Except they got a waiver for Thanksgiving Day. So Phillipsburg, Kyle Fleming, their athletic director, took advantage of it, and they're going to be playing Emmaus and Freedom the following 2 weeks on the road.
Wow.
So the State Liners, we're going to know about Phillipsburg football after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because they're playing 3 formidable opponents. 2 are favorites in East Penn Conference, and Easton gets Parkland the 3rd week at Cottingham as an independent.
Okay.
So after 3 weeks, we're going to have people for the first time since Joe Luke and Leonard Moore played in the East Penn Conference.
Right.
People are going to have a measuring block.
Yeah.
Well, Phillipsburg must be better than Easton because they played Parkland and only lost 21-14.
Right.
And Easton got blown out 35-7.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. And as the season goes on, Easton will play Freedom. They don't play Emmaus this year. Their crossover games are at Folklore Mountain East on a Thursday night.
Okay.
And they play Bethlehem Catholic, and their Central Catholic's home September 25th as a crossover. Then they play their 5 Northampton County Division teams.
Right. Jack, are they still having problems? It sounds like with these Thursday night games this year, it sounds like they're still having problems with officials.
Yes.
At least in terms of
getting good ones.
Well, and just recruiting.
And what really has happened in the East Penn Conference, I've taken notice, is since they went to 7 officials, sometimes more is not good.
Right.
Because you're getting some crews, 2 or 3 inexperienced people
right.
on a 7-man crew, where on a 5-man crew, you might have 1 or 0.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens there, and that's why they're playing Thursday nights and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Easton has a Saturday night date at Bethlehem Catholic, but that's
right.
more or less because stadium availability.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, because Freedom and Liberty probably have at least one of those schools will probably play on a Friday night.
What's nice about Easton playing Thursday night, in I think it's early October, is the following night on Friday night, the Penn State Nittany Lions play on national TV.
Oh, is that right?
Against Northwestern. Northwestern's opening their new stadium.
Okay.
So if you're an Easton and Penn State fan, you can do both.
Yeah.
And I really think for traveling to Swiftwater, a lot easier traveling on a Thursday night up there than a Friday night.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so see what happens. That's what the local sports scene looks like. And Wilson will be playing 3 games at Cottingham Stadium this year because Smithfield's getting redone, but they haven't started anything yet.
Oh, really?
I just rode by 2 days ago,
Huh.
and that's getting refurbished. Going to put lights in, and
So they're going to be playing Friday night?
not. I heard it's going to be a compromise. When Easton's on the road or not playing Friday night, though he will play Friday night games. But if Easton's home Friday nights, they're going back. They'll play some traditional Saturday afternoon games too.
So that means that there's only
Penargil.
Penargil's the
After
only.
it gets remodeled.
Okay, are they going to go to get lights too, or
Don't
is
know. I don't think so, but you never know. You never say never. Yeah, Wilson wants lights because they're going to redo their track to an 8-lane track, and they want to be able to take advantage of all sports. Intramurals or
Yeah.
varsity sports that can be played on that.
Yeah.
That's surface like field hockey, soccer, etc.
When I was working for the Express Times, I used to love covering high school afternoon games at Penargil and Wilson.
Yes,
They were the really
dinosaurs.
Well, they were really the only other team that really played in the afternoon was when Pius X was home, because they didn't have
Lights either.
lights either, right? And it just had a really good feel to it, almost like you're going to a college game, because a lot of them obviously play afternoon games. I really enjoyed that, and in a way, I sort of feel sad that Wilson's going to be going under the
I
lights.
like halfway. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Depending how schedules
kind of
work
like
out.
the Chicago Cubs, they have lights, but they still play a lot of afternoon games.
To me, that'd be a great compromise.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
yeah,
So that's about it. The college scene, of course, locally, Lafayette and Lehigh. Lehigh will have a new coach. Their defense coordinator got promoted. And Lafayette, John Troxel just got a new 5-year contract, so John's there for the long run. But
yeah,
the Patriot League this year will have 10 teams.
right,
And they had 7. They went 8 last year at Richmond. And this year they'll have defending CA Colonial Athletic Conference champion Villanova. And a real strong program down in Williamsburg, William and Mary in the conference.
right,
So Lafayette plays Lehigh home for the second straight year, but Lafayette, out of 12 games, only have 5 home games.
right,
So John will be on the road quite a bit. So both those teams will have to up their ante, as you want to call it, and keep recruiting hard, and hopefully they both can have successful years. And I really feel you'll start seeing this year, the Patriot League, I would say once every 5 years, got 2 teams in the playoffs. I think you'll see now every year they'll get 2 teams in the playoffs if they're worthy.
right, and they still get obviously automatic bid, right? For the
Automatic
champion,
bid.
and possibly an
At large bid, right?
Yeah, okay,
With that caliber of competition now.
Yeah.
So I think it's great on a Saturday afternoon. You can go to Fisher Field or Goodman Stadium
yeah,
and see some really good football.
yeah,
Yeah. And Penn State, like I said, will be opening that same September 5th. And again, sorry to say, there are 3 opening games, or they're independent games. I hope to get in with it next week. I hope to have Denny Rush with me and Mark Wogenrich, and get Bruce Nagy on to talk more college football. We're going to talk a little bit with Bruce at 10:30. You and I are.
okay,
It should be very interesting. Penn State has a schedule not as tough as previous years. They have the University of Washington and I think Southern Cal at home and Michigan away. But the 3 opponents that they're missing,
yeah,
the defending Indiana, the state national champion Indiana,
yeah,
they don't play Ohio State. And for the first time in 3 years, they don't play Oregon.
right,
So this schedule out in Happy Valley should be conducive for Coach Matt Campbell. They really get off to his program really good. They have Rocco Beck coming back, the quarterback from Iowa State.
Yeah.
And everything I read nationally is that what leadership he brings to a locker room.
yeah. That's what the stories have been talking about, is the fact that he was a real leader at Iowa State. Played through some injuries. He has a good arm. Maybe not a great one, but a good arm. And if you make the right decisions on the college level, you can certainly get by with that. The other thing is schedules. I think people kind of forget that a lot of these schedules, or actually most of them, are made 5 or 6 years in advance.
Yes.
You have no idea what these teams are going to look like.
But there are, reputations like when Penn State plays Villanova, you're reaching out to
Right.
a subdivision team.
Yeah.
And so if you play 2 of the 3 that way, that's not forgiving. Like I said, you're right about the other way. Like I said,
Yeah.
you could schedule. They're playing Temple also this year. You could
Yeah.
schedule Temple 5 years ago
Yeah.
when Matt Rule was coaching, right?
Right. Who's a
And
Penn State grad.
Right, and you're saying, wow, that should be a great game in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Temple changes 2 coaches, and right now, Casey Killer, I think the game will be good, and it won't be as bad as it was 2 years ago under Stan Drayton or somebody
Yeah.
else. So, for your Happy Valley people, the second week of the year, you don't want to travel 3 hours.
Yeah.
You could travel an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Go down to the Northeast Extension and go to Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah.
So Penn State has 2 subdivision teams, and Temple as their first 3 games. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. One last thing, then we'll talk some regional sports. It's going to be interesting to see where the coach's son at Nazareth ends up in the depth chart at Penn State this year at quarterback.
Yeah. He has decommitted a couple times.
Coach
to other
Falzone.
schools, Peyton Falzone, who is a terrific quarterback, but he's going to be jumping into the deep end of the pool, going to Penn State. And where he falls, I'm sure they'll probably, well, I can't say for sure, but it looks like they're probably going to redshirt him.
I heard right
unless
now.
there's injuries.
I heard right now out of 5 quarterbacks in camp, he's number 3, which isn't all that bad.
Yeah.
And you can be number 3, get all kinds of practice in red shirt, and
Yeah.
then come back, and hopefully he stays at Penn State all 4 years and starts 2 or 3 years and has a really good career. Because Tom Falzone, I'm a big fan of Tom, and I hope his son has a great college career.
Yeah, and with the transfer portal, you hate to see kids, changing schools all the time. But if it works to their benefit, who are we to say that that option shouldn't be available for them? So,
let's hope that works for Tom and Peyton.
Yeah, but if he stays at Penn State all 4 or 5 years,
great
that's
career.
okay too.
Yeah, but let's hope he progresses. He's a great athlete, as he proved in the East Penn Conference for 4 years, and we'll see what happens. Let's talk a little regional sports. We'll be talking about mostly, a lot of people will be talking quirky about baseball, and we won't talk too much about his Mets because he'll get in a bad mood, But anyway, the big news in Philadelphia this week, for myself, you're not involved in hockey as much as I am. Carlson, the center from the Anaheim Ducks, the Flyers signed to an offer sheet last week, biggest in NHL history, 5 years, $90 million. And Thursday, the Anaheim matched it. So Carlson will not be coming to Philadelphia. So
that's no big upset, though.
No, I
think everybody kind of
Bruce will talk about that a little bit later because he's out in California.
Right.
Pat Verbeek, he was in a no-win situation. If he matched it, people are harping now that the product won't be as good because of the salary cap. They're going to have a hard time keeping guys going forward.
Yeah.
And if he did match it, they would have said, well, you're leaving your one of the top young player in hockey go. So it was like a no-win situation. I'm sure Keith Jones, the president of the Flyers, Danny Briere, the general manager, didn't make any friends by doing what they did, but all fair and love and war.
Yeah.
So that's the Flyer thing. And then the other big news in Philadelphia, besides the current Phillies, is the 76ers. And Sixers had a very good offseason. If you look at their starting lineup, right, Dean Wade, I think it will be project as a power forward. Jaylen Brown at small forward. Of course, Joel Embiid, if he can play 55 games, and Jalen Brown's imploring him to. Yeah, he's already put his leadership role. He'd be at center, and then you have two great backcourt pieces in Tyrese Maxey and, of course, the rookie sensation last year, Edgecombe, VJ Edgecombe, and they draft their first draft pick at a good rookie night, first pick, and they signed Simmons as a free agent, who was averaging 16 points a game for both the Celtics and Bulls last year. But the big fish out there is a gentleman who's 42 years young, I'll say.
Yeah.
Is what's his name? I forget.
He's only been in the league, what?
LeBron James.
24 years now?
Yes.
That's unbelievable when you think about it. No one, I don't think anyone in the NBA has played. I think Robert Parrish played 22, 23.
He's going to start his 24th, and I really feel he'll play 2 more years. Make it 25.
Yeah, he's saying 1, but if he has a
chance for 25
year, I think he'll. I mean, he seems to still love the game, loves the whole, the
notoriety that comes with it.
Yeah,
is that right?
And if he's still playing at the top of his game, I mean, he's just a physical wonder. I mean, imagine playing in the NBA at the pace that he plays, the position that he plays. At 42 years old, that's really kind of unbelievable.
And if he comes to the 76ers, supposedly there's 3 teams out there, but I would never count Golden State out trying to make some moves last minute to secure his presence, because his family lives in California, and he loved to play with that all-star guards, Mr. Curry.
Yeah.
But they're being mentioned as the 4th possibility. I think if you're going in pecking order, I think it's Cleveland, the Sixers, Miami, and Golden State.
Could be. Jack, I'll say this. On the surface, I would say there's almost no chance that he comes to Philadelphia. But we should remember, we were saying the same things about Bryce Harper.
Right.
I didn't think there was any chance that he would come to Philadelphia. I thought Philadelphia would be his last choice. But he's here.
Thrived in Philadelphia.
He thrived, exactly.
And he's been part of the fabric of the city and the franchise.
Yeah.
Even though he's in 0 for 22 slump right now.
Yeah, right.
He's had a great year so far, and when he's on the field, he gives everything he has. And for people who watch games and you see a ground out to second base and he's just jogging down the line, age catches up with you, and I don't think it's worth for him to bust it every time to take a chance of a hamstring pull or a groin situation.
It's still, though, I love Bryce, and he's a wonderful player. He still has a good future ahead of him, even though he's, 33 now, I want to say?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, and but it's a bad look.
Really I know it's a bad look.
It's
I know.
A bad look.
Philadelphia's, if you just compare him to one player, he's in a lot of trouble, and that's Chase Utley.
Yeah, right.
And Chase Utley gave 110% every play.
You know who else was like that? And I hesitate to bring his name up because people will disagree with me. You know who always hustled and always ran ground balls out? Was Nick Castellanos.
Yes, he did.
He ran every play out. Say what you want about the guy. He was
maximum effort.
Yeah, he
in the field too.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was a little awkward sometimes, but he gave everything he had in the field and running out ground balls. Yeah. And I just
Father Time just called up.
And in his defense, I hate to say this, but he's not the only one.
No, I agree.
Not only in the Phillies, but everywhere. I see good major league players.
I think you look at Trey Turner when he smells a base hit.
Yes.
Nobody faster.
Yeah. But I've seen, Manny Mercado.
He really loves the first base.
Exactly. Tatis Jr., he's that way. And there's more that hustle.
Too many.
Yeah. There are too many.
Because your young kids, they want them to have some idols on the field, and you want them to see what they do.
Yeah, but it's just a bad look for some of these guys.
Yeah, by the same token, Bryce, who makes base running mistakes, right?
Yes.
But when he knows his team needs a lift, and he tries to stretch the single into the double, and half the time he's out.
Yeah.
But
you hit a real
nerve
sore spot with me.
And like I said, but he breaks out of that box knowing that he needs to get the second base because they're not hitting that night.
Yeah,
So
Bryce is a terrific player. There's no question about it. Not only on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, he's a little in a slump now a little bit, but he is a terrible base runner. He really is. I mean, he takes risks that he shouldn't take.
well, I wouldn't say terrible. I said below average base runner because
Yeah.
I see. Maybe you don't see him. I think you probably do. I see a very intelligent base runner going first to third.
Yes, I was going to say.
second at home.
Yes, he's
Yes.
good at that.
Yes, but he
knows-
does. But stretching singles into doubles or doubles into triples. Yeah, like I said, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen him hit a ball, kind of not in the gap, but kind of in between.
Outfielder has to move over.
Where, yeah, it has to make a run to his left to pick up the ball, and the second baseman catches the ball and is just waiting for him to slide it. He hasn't even started his slide yet. So yeah, I just wish he would be a little more resourceful about when to take an extra base.
Yeah, we'll call Mr. Quirky Blake up right now and get Quirky's viewpoints.
Okay.
Say hi to Quirky this morning. Good morning, sir. How are you on this overcast morning in the Lehigh Valley? Yep, that's fine. It was pleasant this morning. Bruce and I had breakfast. And one of these weeks when you have 2 hours, we'll make sure we'll get 3 headsets and we'll have breakfast together and sit down for 2 hours and talk all kinds of sports. That's a promise, not a threat from my end. And Bruce is very generous, so I know Bruce is the same way. So Quirky, we were talking some local sports to start. Like I said, I found out last night from a legitimate source. I almost am calling him impeachable. I won't mention any names. That Notre Dame high school wrestling job is open because nobody applied for it. Not surprising or is surprising? For you? Nick. Yes. Sketchy?
Yeah.
He's a great guy too, but remember, it's kind of different. You don't have all these layers of interviews, worrying about a teaching job, or all those different things that go into hiring somebody in a public school. They can just all of a sudden go find somebody and take over the program.
Yes. Okay, and 7 weeks till the first day of school, so
Yeah, it's early. It's not early yet,
But as I said to Bruce, parents get antsy if they were already headed to Green Pond. They could look if they could look to Bethlehem Catholic. Of course, that'd be the most obvious transfer. And of course, if you lived in Nazareth or Easton school districts, you could be looking to those schools too. So. Sophomore year, you're not eligible exactly for tournaments for a year.
Unless you have a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
So, but so many of those kids,
Bishop McCourt, yeah, faith Christian, yeah, high risk, low reward, right? Yes, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah, so that's the scoop there. And the other thing we mentioned that's going to be interesting is yeah,
Did he speak to the media? Beers. No one did.
takes over.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yes,
Remember the orange cones he had on the sideline? Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
You know, it's their yeah, it's their game. And the other thing is these kids are what, 16, 17, even 18 years old. In a couple of months, a lot of them might be fighting for our country. You know, so they're yeah,
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember Walt very well. I was on the Lark Board of Directors before it became McDonald's for 6 years, 1977 to 82. I was game chairman for 81 and 82. And they used to practice at Lehigh all the time. And after the 80 season, Neil Putman was forced out at Lafayette. And we're at practice that summer watching Northampton County and Lehigh County teams practice. And Walt, Wayne Grube, and Joe Sterrett, and a lot of John Whitehead's assistant. Oh, my favorite was the defense coordinator who went out in Western Pennsylvania. Yeah, John Lockhart was one. With Wayne, they were my two favorite staff members. And Walt he couldn't wait to get to me because he knew I was a Lafayette fan. He says, "What's the line this year? 62.5." They brought in this. They brought this hot shot in from Wagner, and thinks he knows offense. Of course, Walt's a defensive coach, right? So Lafayette beats them 17-10. I couldn't wait till the next summer. I went to practice. I said that hot shot didn't score many points, but you guys sure didn't score many points either. And I think they scored 17. You scored 10. And he goes, beginner's luck. And Lafayette beat him the second time, and he came down from the press box, and he saw me. He just shook his head real gruffly, kept walking.
Yeah.
He was a character. Walt was. John was a character too. Wayne used to tell me stories about how demanding he was to his staff, but he got results. There's no doubt about it. Quirky. One last interesting thing is football. I go past your alma mater, and they're playing 3 games at Cottingham, and I went past Smithfield on Thursday because I was out that way. They still haven't started any work. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, I should take a ride out and see that. No, that's good. I'm glad they're going to start because a lot of people made comments. They're supposed to do this. That's nice. So Smithfield will get dug up on Monday, huh? That's good. Yeah, because they're playing 3 games at Cottingham, I understand. So, and a couple games at Caddy for their home schedule.
Those will be Friday night games.
Yes.
3? Okay.
As far as I know.
And when Easton is on the
Easton plays Pocono Mountain East on the one road game on that Thursday night. So Friday night will be vacant. So they might get a nice crowd from some of the people that just walk around and want to see a football game. So hopefully the Warriors can win 1, 2, or 3 football games this year. It would be nice. Bankers hoping for the same thing. So we'll see. Yeah, I know. That was a crime.
Yeah.
I should have talked to Steve Panzer last year when I had a chance to get his ear why that happened. Steve's the new District 11 chairman, and he does a great job, and I like Steve a lot, the athletic director at Bangor.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is Phillipsburg will be open with 3 East Penn Conference teams. Parkland at Maloney Stadium at Harold Bellis Field on opening night, September 4th, and then they go on the road to, I think, you may get some freedom right after that. So, for the first time since I said Leonard Moore and Joe Luke, Easton and Phillipsburg fans can compare scores. Yeah, so it should be interesting. Anything else locally that you want to touch on before we talk some? Right. I think that's a Saturday afternoon game at Cottingham, if I know. Two easy ones. Yeah.
What was the reason?
Yeah, those schools go through growing pains.
Why was the Schuylkill / Colonial League scrapped? Was it just the travel was just too much? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Jim Thorpe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jim Thorpe.
The Olympians.
Yeah, their geographic rival obviously is Lee Heighton, but for years they didn't want to put them in the same league because Jim Thorpe was such a small school. They were single A for a long time, whereas Lee Heighton was 3A. Now, I believe actually Jim Thorpe is the bigger school, and Lee Heighton has dropped a lot of enrollment. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Revitalize it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Right. Yes, they were. Yes. Yeah. Northwestern, Pocono Mountain. Yeah. 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 Really? I didn't know that.
Wow.
Built in Carbon County, you know, they have no taxes at all.
Yeah.
You know, like someone coming out of high school, just has a job out of high school, you know, they don't attract the place. You know,
Settle down.
whatever else. Yeah, so it's, you know, and I think, you know, getting back to the question, yeah, I mean, the school feel colonially didn't actually, you know, it was good intentions based on the size of the schools, but really those schools weren't improved. Pottsville was, you know, so Pottsville wasn't
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it wasn't the whole school field. You went out, you know, Pine Grove, Minersville, all the way.
Blue Mountain.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, Blue Mountain, I'm saying the far end,
Okay.
Yeah.
Tri-Valley,
Yeah.
pretty much the schools around Pottsville, they put it out. But, you know, I just think the travel, I think enough riding trips trying to get out of the Lehigh Valley, or into the Lehigh Valley, 17, 22, you know, say like, Blue Mountain, going to Valley Cities or something like that.
Yeah.
Up to Bangor, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
Lehigh Valley's just gridlock on a Friday.
Yes. Corky, let's go to the regional scene a little bit with you for the last 10 minutes. LeBron James, Bruce says, slim and none for him to come to Philadelphia. How do you feel?
You know, I think if you're a Sixers fan, you'd like it because I think it would force Jordan to grow up and be a professional. I mean, I know he's gone through a lot of injuries, but I think a lot of the injuries were all caused by himself, and he's not, you know, and I think, you know, whether you like or don't like LeBron James, one thing is he's always kept himself in incredible shape. Practices his craft, shows up, you know. So I think it'd be, you know, I don't know, you know, it's hard to tell anything at this point. I think he knows where he wants to go. It's just a matter of playing one off the other. You know, someone was saying Cleveland's not in the mix. You know, so I don't know exactly where the Sixers stand with that. I think getting Jaylen Brown helps. But, you know, it's not LeBron James in 10, 15 years ago. So you're going to get a guy who's going to, you know, put up, he's going to be an animal. Bigger than life figure. You know, I would say it would bring more people to see the Sixers play because no matter like how incompetent they are, people still go down and watch it. You know, kind of like how the Flyers fans were, you know, 10, 15 years ago. You know, no matter how bad the team was, they were going to come down and so we'll see. You know, I mean, if I had, I was betting Bruce's money, I'd probably see Golden State winning.
Okay.
The thing we talked about earlier, Corky, is that I think there's almost off the top of my head, I would say there's almost no chance that he comes to Philadelphia. But we were saying the same thing about Bryce Harper. That there's no way he's going to come to Philadelphia, especially Philadelphia. So I'm still, you know, leaving the door open a little bit for
Right.
something weird to happen.
Yeah, if things
Yeah,
fall
ready?
through, or say Pat Riley
Okay,
doesn't
bye.
deal with it again, or Stephen
Yeah.
Curry,
Yeah.
Draymond Green say no, you know, we're good. You know, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a little puzzled by the talk about him going to Golden State, because Golden State is looks like they're, you know, in the process of starting over. I just find that a little hard to believe that he would go into a situation like that where he'd have to bring. Well, of course, he's living out in California, but still, you know, Los Angeles is still what 400 miles from.
San Francisco.
San Francisco is 400 miles from Los Angeles. That's a big. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, right.
It's not you and me, like you and me.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
But yeah, I you know, for him, it's 1 year deal.
yeah, right.
You know, him and Curry kind of formed a better relationship early on in their careers. Kind of, you know, playing this being kind of their elder statesman now. And,
Yeah,
you know, because I think this is the last hurrah for the Golden State, you know, as we know. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, I don't think they're trying to get anywhere for him.
right. Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. There isn't an ideal situation for
Yeah,
him.
he's good friends with Tyreek Maxey. That's what Philadelphia's
Yeah.
hanging their shingle to.
Yeah. Plus,
Rich Paul has a client, so say Rich Paul, basically LeBron has a client.
yeah.
Exactly right. Forky, real quick with baseball. My Phillies are terrible right now. Their bullpen is their closer, and pray for everything else.
Yeah.
The Mets were the same way. They got a great, well, not great, but like today's pitchers, solid 6 innings and going with playing, and it's your team and blew up whoever was. You know, I came across, I don't know if you guys discussed it at all today or in the past, but I was really curious. I was looking at the standings. Of course, you know the standings, so I look at the standings. And I was looking at like how the National League has
Yeah.
so many more teams that are above 500.
Yep.
They have like four just in the National League. I said, and I looked at it, and said, well, they have all these. I looked at the American League, they only have 5. But,
Yeah.
because of
Trade deadline in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
play, interleague play, I said, it must be like, National League must be doing pretty well in interleague play. So the magic of the computer, I looked it up. The National League is up 162 wins to 129 over the American.
Wow.
First started.
Yeah. It was the other way.
American
Yeah.
dominated.
Because they were playing a lot of games with a designated
Yeah.
hitter, and the National League wasn't playing with it, and they weren't.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean that kind of, it's not like, original, interleague play where you only play, so few games now. It's like every other week you're playing interleague. So yeah, I think I was curious about that. So yeah, that's, so it's like a 550 or 577 percentage. And, I don't know how it'll end up here. It's probably going to be 40 events or whatever. But, that's a pretty, you see a lot closer. I think it's a lot closer.
Yeah, Corky. Yeah, that's interesting. I think at the beginning of the week, I was looking at the standings, and there were 4 American League teams that had 500 or better records in all 3 divisions. Where in the National League, they had 4 teams. Only 4 teams had losing records. So
Tampa Bay, the Yankees, White Sox, Marlins, Central, and then the Rangers are 2 games above 500. The Mariners 1 game below, and obviously nationally, everybody but the Mets above 500. Nationally, Brewers, Cubs, Cardinals are above 500. The Pirates 500. You saw the Reds; they're not bad.
yeah.
And in the West, that's you have the Dodgers running away. You got the Giants and the Rockies.
Yeah, 3 weeks from Monday's the trading deadline, and it's going to be interesting in 2 weeks where all these teams stand. They're the same place. It's going to be a seller's market, no doubt about it.
Yeah, obviously, I would hope the Mets are good sellers. My son keeps saying, Alvarez and catcher, so you would want him, There's always a market for a catcher.
Yeah.
I think I pretty much, I think with the Mets, we really would trade Cherry. Because he's basically shown he's better than Devin Williams, not getting paid as much. He's back in the bullpen. I think they probably would have entertained thoughts of Brett Baty, but now with Vientos hurt, that kind of hurts me guys. So, I wouldn't mind him getting traded to Thor. What have they done since he's been there? It seems like he does his best work when the games don't matter.
Yeah,
Corky, you know what name I've been hearing a lot the last couple of weeks? Michael Lorenzen, the pitcher. He once pitched
for
no-hitter.
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at his numbers. His ERA is almost 6.5.
No, I don't think so. Colorado, yeah.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah, I understand. He's pitching in Colorado, and that's
Add a
that's where pitchers
yard
go to
and
die. But
yard and a half to his ERA. So
yeah, I mean,
we'll give him a 5 ERA. He's still bad.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my sentiment exactly on him. I can't.
I think when people look at him is he takes the ball every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
If you're a team, playing, let's just say, Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, took a fly on David Peterson, saw how that was bad.
Right.
I think Peterson's first outing with the Cubs after the Mets trade was like 3 innings, 10 hits, 10 runs. All I kept thinking was Taiwan Walker.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good analogy.
We're still paying him this year.
And next year too, right?
No.
Is this the last? Okay.
Yeah, so Corey, it's going to be interesting, like I said, as we get closer. Well, thanks for coming on with us. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch, like I said, next week or two, and we'll talk a lot more about the trading deadline coming closer and closer to August 3rd. Okay? Take care. Have a great day.
All right, Corky.
Tell
Yep.
Mrs. Blake to hang in there with our Phillies. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Call Jude sign up, and
Okay.
you can gab for a minute if you want to.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. The trading dedeadline. It's August 3rd this year.
Yes.
They moved it up. 3 or 4 days?
Move it back
yeah, whatever. And it's going to be interesting because there's going to be a lot of action with so many teams being in the mix, and with the 6 playoff spots in each league. Like
Right.
you could be 2 or 3, 4 games under 500. You're still in there.
Jude, are you there? Good morning. Yeah, I told Bruce to talk, so it's not his fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. We're just at the end of the conversation with Corky Blake. We were talking baseball, not real long, but about 5 minutes worth. Cause we started talking about high school sports, realignment, and all that, and Jim Thorpe and who's the others? Lee Heighton being in the
Yeah.
Colonial League this year. So yeah, and where you went to school for 2 years, Notre Dame High School doesn't have any applicants for their head wrestling position. After being, so far that's what I got from a real good source last night. So very interesting. So yeah, it really is. So a lot of things went down last night. Nobody knows last night, but the Braves lost again. The Nationals had the Yankees beat 3-1, but the Nationals have petitioned Major League Baseball for 8-inning games. I haven't won yet. They gave up 4 runs in the ninth to the Yankees.
Their bullpen's still bad.
Well, the Phillies are rivaling them right now, very much so, except for their closer. Yeah, it's just unbelievable how the baseball season's going. The Corky's Mets are horrendous. I watched them last Sunday. They had that 10-3 lead over Atlanta and gave up 6 runs,
Yeah,
and
I
winning
saw
run was on
part of
second
that.
base at the end of the game, and
Yeah.
Razzlebaum stretching right. He has a 6-run lead, and he's thrown over to first base, but the first baseman's not holding the runner on.
Oh, geez.
And he throws it down the right field line.
Oh my God.
Then he throws his arms up like, Mr. Brazelbaum, all you have to do before the batter gets in the box is look over.
Yeah. Right.
So baseball is just different this year, I would say. Dodgers are Dodgers, of course, but the Braves lost to St. Louis last night. So the Marlins have been fantastic. But Jude, let's talk about the Phillies, and then we'll talk about the other, LeBron James and other things after that. Manley took the heat last night, and he said, I guess I'll be sleepless last night by not letting Nola go out for the 6th inning. And the way the bullpen is, he was wrong. If Phillies had a good bullpen, he would have been right. But like I said, that middle relief is so horrible right now. Nola pitched 7 against Kansas City, 3 runs.
Mm-hmm.
Last night he had 1 bad pitch to McGonigal, 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. You got to send him out.
I gotta be honest with you, Jack. I don't know.
No, that's why we have sports talk. That's why we have sports talk to agree to disagree. Yeah.
I know that baseball, in the moment, yes. And Aaron Nola is a 5-inning pitcher.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's done that a number of times. I think when you bring somebody in and first guy gets on, you have 13 pitchers, 8 bullpen pieces,
Yeah.
and you're in the sixth inning, and Mays is your first reliever. Like you said, after first guy gets on, get somebody start warming up, and after 3 or 4 batters, you got to pull Mesa, you got to pull him. So I agree with you there, 100% there. And Mesa has been, I said before the Iron Pigs game last night, along with Bolin, he's been one of the more reliable relievers.
Yes.
But with Keller and Kirkman out there in the sixth inning, after that 2 out of 3 lefties were coming up, you're right, Jude. One of the either I think Kirkman or Keller should have been in there to get him out of the sixth at least, within 1 run.
Let me pose something to you guys that I was thinking about. They have 13 position players and 13 pitchers, right? Isn't that
Correct.
the way? And it's 5 and 8 for their 5 starters, 8 bullpen pieces.
Yes.
Would it make sense for the Phillies to drop? For the life of me, I do not understand why they have 3 catchers. What is, would it make sense to drop one of their 2 backups, either Mershon or Garrett Stubbs, and then use a 14th pitcher?
You can't do it. Major League Baseball, 13 pitchers.
You can't.
No,
you can't?
because the games
Okay,
are the games
I
are getting
wasn't aware
too
of that.
their games are getting too long and all kinds of some teams
because
are
there'd be lefty,
some
righty
teams
stuff.
some teams are carrying 15 pitchers
Okay, when did they change that rule?
2 years ago.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
It's 13,
Well,
13,
So
and
much for that.
then in September is 14.
Yeah.
September is 14 and 14.
So much for that theory then.
Yeah,
But why do they carry 3 catchers for? What's that all about?
they love Garrett Stubbs stuff in the clubhouse.
Marshawn is out of options, right?
They
Yes.
both are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both are. So I feel like it's like, well, we're gonna keep him there. But yeah, look, I mean, here's the thing that I think of the outside of one game time. As currently constructed, this Phillies team very well could make the playoffs, but they're not winning anything.
Right.
As currently constructed, like Dave Dombrowski has probably the biggest work he's had to do since he's become the general manager at the trade deadline. And if he, strikes out like he has in the last couple of years, this is going to be a quick exit for this team. I mean, like, you cannot go into a playoff game with Mesa and Seth Johnson and Lazar as your ultimate team.
Tanner Banks, Alvarado.
Yeah, they are not, yeah, you can. I mean, they are not bullpen pieces you can take to play.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you got that, and then, you have to figure out, the other thing is, because you go make the playoffs, you gotta figure out the 5th starter. Yeah, Nola's pitched well for 2 starts. That's not gonna continue. Like, he is, unfortunately just not a guy that is going to give you that for the rest of the season. And knowing that, you cannot go every 5 days in the scheduled block with Brett Brown. You can't just throw the 5th starter out there and be like, well, we're gonna take him off.
No, they're
It's unsustainable.
so they're 0 and 9 in the last 5th starters when they pitched,
Well,
either in the opener or otherwise.
But the thing that we have to remember is that I think they're thinking that they can crawl their way to the end of the regular season with this situation, providing they can't get a number 4 or 5 starter at the trade deadline. I think they're thinking that they can, if worse comes to worse, they can weather this. And once it gets to the playoffs, you're not going to use a number 4 or number 5 starter anyway. So that
Are you going to
who
use-
knows? Maybe Nola won't even make the playoff roster.
No,
if they get that far.
they'll need a number 4 because the first series goes 3 games. The wild card series, and you get into the first round, the second game of that next series, you're going to need someone else, and then the same thing in the best
Yeah.
of 7. You're going to need 4 starters, 3 most
You
likely.
think?
Yes,
Yeah.
depends how that series go.
Yeah. Right.
And like I said last year, you saw Nola pitch the opener, and that's the only game they won.
That's the game he pitched 2 innings and
Yes,
they took him out.
they took
Yeah,
him out, but-
right, which was weird.
Yeah, Nola's pitched 3 out of 4 times, 6 innings, 7 innings, 5 innings, and made 1 bad pitch to McGonigal last night. And I was just hoping to see what he has yet, because I've already seen now if he can go through 6, and then in 3 weeks I know I gotta get a 2 starters, whatever. Because I saw Andrew Painter pitch last night. He was awful.
Yeah.
God dang awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, his fastball was hitting 98, but no movement on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one, we hold on to the prospects that we probably shouldn't hold on to way too long and overvalue them. And then number two, when we do have a prospect as well, we do a very bad job of developing that prospect into,
A major league player, right?
you know, I mean, and when you think about the enthusiasm, I get it. You know, like, hey, he was throwing like that, he had the surgery, he had a rough, but that's the time, last year's trade deadline, when you think, hey, you know what, guys, like, nobody really knows that Andrew Payne's not coming back, he's still riding high. Now that would have been the time to say, we're going to trade him, and we're going to, you know, get a key piece. And now they've held on to him too long, and you're really not going to get it. I mean, he's not even mentioned as somebody you're going to throw, you know, in for a major player.
Right.
You know, maybe,
He's part of a package. Part of a package.
but you know, and again, I mean, I just think that was a really. What gets me is that in the off season, how is that based on the good season that Andrew Painter had last year? How are you saying as an organization he's going to be our fifth spot? Like,
Great.
I guess I just don't comprehend.
Jude, that's a great point. A great point. Because my friend Joe DeVivo, who I go to a lot of Iron Pig games with him, we were both saying this exactly the same thing, and that is, how can you depend on a kid who has never pitched in the major leagues? Well, at the time he was 22. How can you expect him to come up to the major leagues after he had, I forget what his 1-loss record was, but he had an ERA of almost 6 last year in AAA. How do you expect him to get major league hitters out when he's struggling to get guys in AAA out?
Right.
I just that's just
Ju-
they just set themselves up for this. I think.
Jude, we got back up on one thing, but St. David Dombrowski, okay? Okay, last year I thought it was very successful because I think they got the second best closer in baseball, and that was a pretty good trade. And also, Bader wasn't bad either.
Yes.
You know, he lasted 2 months in the Philly uniform. So I say last year was successful, and things would have broke right in the playoffs. They might have went pretty far, because I think the Luzardo trade before that, year before that, has turned out well. He's under 500 in this trade, so I'm the first one to agree. But Brandon Marsh for a Hoppy is turning out really good.
Oh, Hoppy's struggling now.
Yeah, he's only hitting 220. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some good moves that Dave has made, but you're also correct, and so is Bruce, about his misgivings. The bullpen, like I said, giving Keller $25 million for 2 years. Last night was the time to find out about Keller. As you said,
Yeah.
Jude, after guys on first and second with 1 out, and they got right-handed hitters come up, why isn't Keller in there right
Yeah.
now? And find out if he's going to be an integral part of
Yeah.
August and September. Or are they waiting for?
Sure. I mean, I'll agree with you on that. I mean, listen, I think my biggest problem with Dombrowski is that like the offense. I'll give you the trade deadline, but I'm just simply asking this question there. You David, and listen, not to trash on Bill, because I think he's a great clubhouse guy and everything. A good acquisition. He needs to build a role, but you made the trade for Harrison Bader. You could have got him for what you got, like 2 years, $10 million. Well, I don't know. I don't quite understand why you just bring him back.
I don't think he wanted to come back to Philadelphia, because I think he saw himself being as a 4/5 outfielder.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
You do?
Yeah, I think he could have been a /3/4 outfielder.
Well, yeah, but I don't.
But I'm not saying where he would have been, because
Yeah.
a lot of projections before they signed Garcia was if they re-signed Bader, right? Bader was going to play center, Crawford was going to play left, and Marshall was going to play right. And Bader did have a chance to come back to the Phillies because it was a mutual option. The Phillies put their part of the mutual
Yeah.
option for the $10 million for 1 year.
Right.
Bader's the one who chose free agency,
Yeah. Well,
so he
Yeah.
did.
yeah.
Right.
You can't predict that Garcia's going to get hurt, but I mean, you also can't look at a roster and be like, hey, this Tim Mesa here and Seth Johnson and Matt Lazar, yeah, we're gonna lean on them.
No, you're right.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely, Jude. I looked this up last night. I was just, watching television, and I was interested in looking at this. Of their 4 AAA, AA, and their 2 single A teams, the Phillies farm system has 1 team that has a winning record, and that's I believe the Clearwater team. But beyond that, that's kind of irrelevant. The relevant thing is you're trying to develop talent. 1 loss is, I think, kind of secondary in the minor league level. Here's what I'll say. Jack and I talked about this during breakfast. Of the top 100 or the top 50 prospects in baseball right now, of those top 50, the Dodgers have 7 of them. The Phillies, by comparison, of the top 100, they have 2. And that one is Andrew Painter, who's struggling in the minor leagues, as Jack pointed out, and the other is Aiden Miller, who is injured and will most likely not play at all this year. That's it. They just, their problems, I think, and people are kind of sweeping this under the rug, is their minor league system. I mean, we're talking about their bullpen. The point is, they're bringing up these Seth Johnsons and people like that because they don't have anybody else.
Well, there's an interesting
McFarland,
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knows for sure what's happening, why he hasn't got promoted to AAA,
Yes.
or are they trying to keep his value at the trade deadline, or what? And
Well, then if they get rid of him, they have no. They have.
I
nothing.
agree with you. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
no, it's just strange and what's happening there. And like I said, the other strange thing is the Phillies organization headed by Dombrowski sent out a memo to all the media, print and electronic, that you can't ask how the operation went for Aiden Miller June 5th, because I have not heard, even guys like Jim Salisbury, Todd Zolecki, guys I respect greatly.
Yeah. Sounds like a Mitch McConnell situation,
It could be. Yeah, I'm just saying, why couldn't you say June 10th he had a successful
Yeah.
operation and he'll be resuming baseball activities in July or August for sure?
It almost gives you the
Or
impression- yeah.
there was complications, to be honest. We
Yeah.
went in and we couldn't fix anything. We need to shut him down for the remainder of the year, and we're hoping by the time the Florida Instructional League and Arizona Fall League happen that he'll be a part of our.
And was that with Dombrowski's call to make that?
Yeah, it's Dombrowski. He's the head president of baseball operations.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically number 2 in charge. Middleton's number 1 in charge. Dombrowski's second. Sam Foley, who used to be in the baseball front office, is president of business operations.
Yeah.
So there are the 3 guys, and Preston Manley, the general manager, is 4th. So it's just odd that nobody has brought that up and said, "How is he doing?"
Yeah.
No news is bad. No. Yeah, no news is probably bad.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
news is probably bad news.
That's
probably.
a question you have to ask yourself. Yeah.
But I'd like to know it.
And I think the problem with that is just as you said, we're sitting here saying hey, at the trade deadline, Dombrowski's got to pull 1 or 2 starters and 1 or 2 relievers and a right-handed back. We don't have enough ammunition.
You would think. Well, only thing you look at is some organizations are worse than us. that
not
you know.
many, though.
No, there
Not
are
many.
some, and like last night, Reyes hit his 20th home run. He was in a little bit of a slump, but the ball jumps off his bat. If a non-contending team,
In Triple A it does, not in.
but he hasn't
not
had a
in
chance
Major
in
League.
the Major
Well,
League.
that brings up another
Yeah.
point. Why they give up on him? What do you have? 35 at bats.
Yeah.
And then they just send him down.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but a team like the Giants or somebody else, you might be able to peddle him for a decent piece because beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. And I think also what we're measuring Dombrowski with now, seeing him getting worse, is we always measured him against Howie Roseman,
Right.
the king of
That's a
trades.
Good point.
And Howie Roseman is an entire different entity that you trade draft picks and not players for players. So, that's what, and Howie is great. And now, either Bob Myers or Gansey, right? And Keith Jones and Briere. Just face it, the Phillies organization, Jude, you will probably agree, and Bruce, if you look at front offices, they're probably fourth in the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Jude, you had to bring that up. That.
Well, yeah, with Gage Wood, my feeling is on that. I wish they would graduate him to 5 innings
Yes,
and
exactly.
be the fifth starter.
Exactly my point.
That's how I feel.
Every game he has pitched this year, whether it was
3 or 4
high
innings.
single, 3 and 4 innings, and that's it. One
Just like to
trip
stretch
through
him
the
out.
lineup, one trip through the lineup, and then you
two,
take
maybe.
him out.
Or 2, maybe.
How is that developing a starting?
No, I agree with you. You can baby him so long and just get him up to 5 innings. If you can't pick up that fifth starter at the trade deadline,
Yeah.
bring him up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. Jude, let's go to basketball because we make about 7-8 minutes. LeBron James, Sixers have had a very nice offseason. Dean Wade was picked up. I always forget his name, but if James signs, he'll be right off the bench. Dean Wade will give him a lot of insurance, and I even think he probably could play if they went small. If Embiid's not healthy, the night he's not healthy, that Dean Wade could play center and LeBron could play power forward, and you'd have still a nice bench and be a really competitive basketball team.
Yeah, listen, I mean, the fact of the matter is that we are sitting here, 3 weeks after we just said, well, the Sixers are going to be what we're stuck with for 3 years, until Embiid's contract runs out. And now all of a sudden, we're talking about a team that has, might be one of the top, right, as constructed right now, might be one of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference, and potentially could add LeBron James to the mix. What a great job by Gansey. I mean, the funny part about the whole thing is that when you look at the Celtics' original critical move, you want Paul George, DJ Edgecombe, 5 first-round draft picks, and if you see what they settled on, Paul George and 2 first-round draft picks. I mean, what a hype! I mean,
Yeah.
for Jalen. I mean, that just when I was on vacation and it popped up, and I had to read. I was like, well, they trade him deep. I mean, like the fact that he was able to pull that off, and then the signing for Dean Wade and
Simmons.
and Simmons, Anthony Simmons is completely underrated. I mean, that immediately strengthens your bench. I mean,
First round draft pick, had a great game rookie night.
Yeah.
and listen, as much as I was the biggest critic last season about Daryl Morey, in some ways that was actually like pretty
and gave it, and gave him.
It's refreshing to see. It's refreshing to see a general manager who knows what he's doing and is able to just the fact that he was able to turn around this team from oh God we're stuck in NBA purgatory to a team that is in the news because you might sign arguably the greatest NBA player of all time is pretty unbelievable.
I think the chances are like about 33%. Bruce thinks less than that, but what do you really think he's going to do?
Well, listen. I mean, the report that came out this morning was that he is not going to Cleveland. That it's down to 2 teams that are not Cleveland. Because if you would ask me yesterday, I would say, listen, I think he's going back to Cleveland. It seems to be the right thing to do. You're from there. You were there. You finish off your career. But this is a guy who, look, I think the biggest factor for LeBron would be because nobody's ever done this before. I'm going to come to a sports organization and win a title.
Yeah.
That to me, the way LeBron James is, that to me is something that really interests him because he just likes the fact that, hey, I went year one, I went year one, I went year one, I went year one. And, I don't know that I would probably say it's right around the 40, 60 mark, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, if they're down to 2 teams, I'd up it to about 40, 60 also.
Yeah.
Could he go to Miami and go? But if he goes to Miami, like, look, here's the deal, like, the Sixers are the better team. Like, maybe you like the lifestyle of Miami and money reasons, but, like, this roster for the Sixers arguably could be the best roster LeBron James has ever played with.
Yeah.
And like I said, 3
Yeah.
weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, we went and said, hey,
Well, you think
it's a pipe dream.
Jack and I talked about this before. The thing you have to remember, yes, if you held a gun to my head, I would say there's no chance he's coming to Philadelphia. But we were saying the same things about Bryce Harper coming to Philadelphia. I mean, who would have ever thought that? Maybe I don't know if Bryce and LeBron are buds or anything.
Well,
but maybe Bryce
it
has put in a good word for.
It happened back in 1979. Pete Rose had a lot
That's
of.
right, exactly.
He had a lot of
Another
friends.
perfect
Him and
example.
Larry Bowa were tight,
Yeah,
and Mike Schmidt.
yeah,
And
sure.
we never dreamt of that. He was
Yeah.
never going to leave the big red machine.
Yeah, and like you guys are saying, he's already eliminated the place that we thought he might be going. That's Cleveland.
Yeah.
So if they're out, I mean, who's still in? I mean, I don't see. People say Golden State. I don't for the life of me, I don't see that.
They can fit him in under the cap.
Well, not only that, but they're kind of in a state of, I think, decline. What's his name?
Draymond Green, Curry.
Yeah, Draymond Green. Steph is, he's getting long in the tooth. I don't see that. I mean, I'm not saying he's definitely not going to go there, but Philadelphia is much more attractive,
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah. Jude, what?
Hey, so we say this, Jack, any chance LeBron James maybe comes to the All-Star weekend?
You never know. And
Boy, that
that would be nice, right?
Well, that would get
right in the
people
middle.
talking, wouldn't it?
That was upstage baseball, right in pregame ceremonies. Was released
yeah.
that they signed LeBron James. That would really do it. Yeah.
Just say this real quick, Jack. The guy loves the hoopla. I mean, you saw, the decision, taking his talents to South Beach, all that stuff. Like, what a better way on the grandest of stages in the middle to just sort of roll out.
And the first pitch is now being thrown by Mike Schmidt and LeBron James.
Imagine that. Could you imagine that?
Last thing, and that's it. We only got 1 minute or 2 minutes. No Flyers center. Carlson re-upped, and Bruce said, who's going to be on Nets with me. You can get us on YouTube now in case you want to listen to it. That Verbeek's getting a lot of grief because he said they could have signed him for $9-10 million 2 months ago. So,
Look, real quick, just in closing, what I would say to that is, hey, I mean, Greer, he took a swing, and I mean, and I think it's a big swing, and, he forced the Ducks' hands. It could be a multi-year deal, guys. I mean, yes, it's a little disappointing because the season moves forward, and we'll have to see what they do, but at the same point, the Ducks are really in a bind now. They had
yes.
Bitchikoff, their defenseman, they had to overpay because they were afraid he was going to get an offer sheet, and, Gauthier is he's going to be an offer sheet eligible next year. So, in the case of we're playing the long game, and I trust Danny Greer and what he's doing. I hope that they can at least sign, or
Yes. Thanks, Jude. You got my text. 5 o'clock, the gates will open. I think 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock's comfortable for you. I'll see you at my house at 2 o'clock Monday. Looking forward to it. Tell Charlie. Okay. Take
Okay,
care.
you too, Jude. Thanks
Bye-bye.
for coming on.
Bye bye. Jude has his pulse on everything.
What's that?
Jude has his pulse on
Yeah,
everything.
yes, he does.
Yeah, which I really appreciate because Corky's that way with local sports. Certain guys, like I said, really are doing a great job. I gotta get Mr. Nagy up and our last guest of the day. I have no 2 hour limit anymore, but today I do because I gotta take my mom somewhere. With YouTube, I can go as long as I want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, good morning. Got two Bruces with me. Parati across from me, and you just a little about 3,000 miles away.
Good morning, Bruce. How are you?
Bruce, I'm doing fine. I hope you had a good holiday and you're having a good summer.
Yeah, sorry.
Good.
Yes, I
Good.
saw Bruce, Phillies Miami Marlins game. We had a great time that night. A lot of runs scored, right, Bruce?
Yeah, Phillies played very well. Marlins have been
The surprise team.
Yeah.
and Phillies played very well against them.
Yeah, we just had Jude on, and he said this morning came out LeBron's down to 2 teams now. That's the latest thing, so I'm not sure if Philadelphia's one of those 2 or not. Cleveland's out.
Yeah, I'm not really aware of that at this point this morning. I don't know. That's just a little history here. It was not a surprise that the Lakers moved on from LeBron James. Okay, that might have been something for the rest of the country, but the feeling was, especially with the new ownership and everything, that the Lakers wanted to move on. They have Luka Doncic, and they wanted to build around him. And the thing is, LeBron still, he's still really, really good. He was the 4th highest points scored last year, 21 points a game. Now he doesn't play defense because of his age. He's old, against younger guys, he's just not as good. The Lakers also defensively are not really a very good team. They're trying to get bigger and quicker. So to move on from him, especially with the new ownership group, which is actually the same group that owns the Dodgers, they moved on from him. Now where he wants to play, I don't know. Does he want to win another championship? Really, the championship that he won here was not that you put that down, was that COVID
Year.
in Florida, but they did make the conference finals 3 or 4 times. They just weren't good enough, especially defensively, to beat Golden State and teams like that. And now you got the younger group like Oklahoma City and San Antonio. So the thing that I look at for LeBron in Philadelphia, I think it would be great. My issue in Philadelphia is very simple. Now get rid of Joel Embiid. I'm sorry, I've had enough. I'm not a fan. He's a good guy. I don't doubt that he's been injured, but I don't know how these guys play together. If you put, you have Maxey and
Edgecombe.
Edge come.
now you got Jaylen Brown, who's the best player on the team. If you're going to put them in there with Embiid and LeBron, now LeBron is not a guy who has to have the ball and shoot it. He's a really good assist guy, But I just don't know how all these guys mix together. As a matter of fact, I don't know how Embiid and Jaylen Brown are going to mix together.
Yeah.
And Maxey and Edgecombe, I don't know how that works.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. That's a good point. And Bruce, I don't want to pour cold water on everybody's dreams here. But the thing I see with this, it's incredible. These are all stars. It's like an all-star team. And but beyond that, you have a lot of players who kind of fit. Assuming that, let's assume for one whimsical second that LeBron is a Sixer, you have a lot of players that are like in that 2-3 range. You know, kind of like a small forward off guard. I mean, they're all like 3-point shooters. Even Embiid, even though he's a 7-footer and is listed as a center, he's not bashful about throwing up 3-pointers. Now, he's going to have to change his game. Now, 2 years ago, he shot 29% from 3-point range, which for the NBA is awful. But last year, he shot 35%, which is
Acceptable.
is okay. So, you know, he's thinking, well, you know, I'm a better 3-point shooter now, so I'm going to shoot more threes. I just don't know, like Bruce said, I don't know how this is going to work with these kind of players. I mean, you know, do they have a guy who can, well, I guess you'd call
Dean Wade?
not Dean Wade, Maxey. I guess you would call him a point guard, I suppose, but he likes to throw up 3-pointers. You know, and you could say, well, the Celtics, more than half the shots they threw up during the season were from the 3-point line. But what happened what happened there in the first round of the playoffs against the Sixers when they had a 3-1 lead?
Those 3 points weren't dropping. Those 3-pointers weren't dropping.
Right. And the other thing is, what was the fact that they got rid of Brown, Jaylen Brown so easily?
Well, you listen to Colin Cowherd yesterday. He was painting a rosy picture for the Celtics in the trade.
Well, you know what? I can almost see that. I mean,
Let Bruce go.
yeah, I just, you know, what happened there? Was it chemistry? You know, was it, you know, teammates just not trusting each other? I mean, people say, well, Jaylen Brown didn't play the last game. Yeah, well, he played the 2 games before that.
Tatum didn't play the last game.
Yeah, just the last game he didn't play. But he played the 2 games before that when they lost both of them. So I don't know. Chemistry sometimes is overrated, but I think
Bruce,
it does count for something.
Bruce Nagy, you were going to say something about Colin's comments?
It's financial.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
It wasn't a chemistry issue. We talked about this a little bit last week, and Brad Stevens, who I have tremendous respect for, talked about it this week. It's a team that's now owned by a group of equity folks. They've added financial analytics to their team. And that's happening throughout a lot of professional sports. In fact, they took a look at the fact that Jaylen Brown is ready for a contract decision, which the Sixers are going to have to do in the next 3 months, that will get him over $300 million over 5 years. And they made the decision based on 8 different teams that won championships over the last 8 years. And they based it on, you need to have more depth. You need to go. Now, the only thing that I think the one star and then a lot of good players around. My only criticism of what Brad said is simple. They went hard for Giannis with Jaylen Brown as the person coming to Milwaukee. So in other words, if he talks about, hey, we only wanted to have 1 star and finances and blah blah blah. Well, if he wanted to be honest, that means he was going to have Giannis big contract with Tatum big contract. So in other words, you might say we needed to have looked at this financially, looked at this from a ball player standpoint, and we only decided we wanted to have 1 guy and then a lot of good guys, 1 star and one. Then okay, if you were going to have Giannis.
Right.
In other words, you were going to have 2 stars, you know.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of teams that are trying to figure it all out. And what they want to do. The thing that I would say about LeBron, Philadelphia, what are they going to pay? If Josh Allen says you can't go into this so-called second team with relax, some time all this stuff. And you know,
They're going.
You know, he's mid-level exception. At mid-level, you know, he's a Tuesday exception. And tradable business, homegrown business. I mean, I don't understand how they sit down and figure all this garbage out. But all I know is if it's down to two teams, I would think the Sixers are one of them. Golden State is, you know, that's going to be a whole machine if it goes to Golden State.
Yep.
And you're going to go up against OKC and San Antonio, who are all these young, and Minnesota, all these young teams.
Right.
You know, so I hey, if you have Philadelphia, that would be great, but I just don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, Bruce and Jack, help me, correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am, but the key part for the Celtics were the 2 first-round draft picks they're getting in successive years, right?
28 and 31.
Right. Oh, is it? So it's not consecutive
No.
years. 31. That's 5 years from now.
Yes.
But that's in addition to the first-round picks they're going to get, assuming they don't make any more weird trades where they're going to give up first-round. But they're going to.
The NBA has a rule you can't trade 2 straight years of draft picks.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, I see. So that's why they didn't get back to back. Okay.
And 31 worked out better for both teams.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
But
30.
the point is, they're going to have they'll have additional first-round picks that they would normally get
Boston?
in addition to those, right?
Boston, you talking about? Or
Yeah.
Philly?
No, Boston.
Yeah, they'll have their own pick
So
and
they're
whatever.
that's going to strap them for cash. 'Cause
Not
they're
as
gonna-
much because of the rookie contracts, the way it's slotted now, like the NFL. It's not like the old days where, you know, if you drafted somebody in the top 5, you had to negotiate with them
Okay.
and negotiate real high values. Now everybody's slotted, just like the NFL. There might be a holdup on a contract once in a while with some language, right, Bruce? But basically the money's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bruce, I want to talk 2 more things about with you real quick. The NHL with, of course, Carlson staying with the Ducks, and then also talk a little college football because Bruce Ferrari and I haven't talked about that yet. So first of all, just gloss over hockey for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is looking at some of the NHL articles on this. And there were a couple articles on ESPN.com, even locally here. Now, even though the Ducks are sort of an afterthought, because Anaheim's the one city that's sort of an afterthought to LA. But the thing is, the Ducks, okay, they matched the $18 million. They criticized Zach LaVine as the general manager, and they had a really fine year last year. They got Joel Flynn really coached the team and kicked on his back. Laughed at
Chicago, yes.
but he's really a good coach. They were certainly they made the playoffs versus the Lions. Anyway, really Carlson people came to Pat Verbeek mid-season to discuss a contract, and Verbeek said no. And the thing is, what they were looking for, according to the articles, was about $9.5 million a year. Well, now the Ducks are paying $18 million. You know, so, and I saw the ownership of the Ducks or finance well, these are local people, say that Matt did a great job on this. Well, yeah, except you've got about 3 other guys that you need to sign, including Gauthier, and you don't have the money to do it. You know, because Gauthier's going to look for, he had a better year than Carlson. He had a really good year. He's quite good. I'm sorry he's not fired. But the thing is, he's going to be looking for $9 million or more, and the Ducks don't have it.
Yeah.
I realize it's not like the Ducks are an orange line. They play them twice a year. But the Sixers have done, the Flyers have done, is put them in a very difficult cap situation. And they've got 2 or 3 other players that are also young, like Gauthier, that are looking to get paid, and now they're not.
Bruce, Can I back up with you? You said Gaultier will be looking 9+. I think he'll be looking plus 18+. Is that what? Yeah, because why are you going to be second fiddle to your own teammate? Like I said, who had a better year.
I'm sure the Flyers, I'm sure the other owners in the league are looking at the Eric King show, perspective for him saying,
Why? Yeah. You sc-
they might be saying that, but the Flyers have the money, and they have that lead on, they have that big time center need, and they're gonna have to look elsewhere. They're certainly not gonna go at this talented player.
Bruce, we were both wrong. We thought once they he signed, they would be able to make a trade, but they can't trade him for a year now. Carlson. Yeah, I didn't realize that. So that's different. He could be traded next year with that massive contract to make room for Gaultier after next year, or Gaultier could shock the world and then take an offer sheet from the Flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could if he, if, as you mentioned last night, a lot of maybe John Tortorella, but actually before John Tortorella,
Yes.
it was Fletcher who was a disaster.
And Elaine Vigneault and all that. That was way in the past. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. So and then let's talk a little college football, and then we'll wrap up with baseball for 5 minutes. So college football, don't want to miss that. Who really looks good right now on paper nationally? Can Indiana do anything close to what they've done the last 2 years?
Well, they'll be good. What was mentioned is that, Indiana, you guys all cover teams that go undefeated and are really good teams on the high school level and on the college level. We also know that during the course of that season, there were a couple games that they pulled out that were things happened that not that they were lucky to win, but they got through that. That happens. You don't go undefeated. Indiana won 5 games in the fourth quarter where they were trailing last year, including the national championship game. But think back to Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State played an outstanding game against Indiana, and that was that touchdown pass by Mendoza that was just incredible, and I don't know if people
Yes.
stuff all the way, but I think it's going to be good. But still, when it comes down to the Big Ten or Big 18 or whatever they are, I think Ohio State's still going to be, the team. Obviously, I'm interested to see what's going to happen in Michigan. But the Big Ten is going to be pretty good. I think USC is going to be in the thick of it. UCLA has had a championship material, but UCLA had a really good offseason. They hired Bob Chesney, who I think is going to be, succeeded Cincinnati and James Madison. And but there's a lot of teams in the Big Ten. Illinois is certainly solid. But I think still it goes through probably Ohio State. So I think Indiana's going to be good, but I don't know that they're going to have a good quarterback in Tampa. There's no question about it.
Where you see Penn State with Rocco Beck following his coach.
I think they're going to look. If they can get over the Ohio State hump,
They don't play him this year,
they don't
Eh,
well still. Get over the Ohio State hump, you can't lose a whole lot of games. I think they have a really good coach. I think they're going to have a very solid team. I think the thing with Penn State under James Franklin, and we talked about it a lot, especially with Denny, who was on the show. For whatever reason, over the years, Penn State offensively was always, I could never figure them out. You just never really figure them out.
you're talking about the shortcomings. The defenses on other teams figured them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be, yeah, Penn State's three main games are at Michigan, at Washington, and USC home, and the rest of the schedule is, you can say really ho hum, really, in the Big 18, as you like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Penn State win a national championship. I absolutely would love to see that. I always enjoy, I'm going to tell you I'm a big Penn State fan, but I sat in the Rose Bowl last year, my brother and I, watching UCLA, not very good, run, not offensively, run all over. By the way, that is the next section of UCLA women's basketball team, which won the national championship. So my brother and I are getting
Taking credit for that. You're taking credit for that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
and then Penn State played Wisconsin.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not Penn, I mean, UCLA played Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the bottom line is, I really hope that Penn State has a great season. I really do.
I think it's a real good possibility. Bruce Perotti?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, one thing I thought that kind of hurt Penn State a little last year was their first three games of their schedule. They played
Villanova in 2.5 months.
Villanova, and also one of the
Akron?
MAC teams was it? Yeah, Akron, and who was the third one?
I
can't
forget.
remember. I don't think that really prepared them for the for the Big Ten
No.
season. What's their early season schedule look like?
Well, they have two subdivision teams, and they got Temple
Two
away.
subdivision teams.
Yeah, like Villanova was subdivision when they played.
Yeah, I
Villanova.
know. Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, MAC teams, and they got Temple in between in Philadelphia.
but not at the beginning of the season though. I mean, every all the big ones, big guys hold schedule cupcakes, but they usually it's in the middle or towards the end of the season, or maybe at the very beginning of the season they have one. But the Penn State
They had
program
three.
had three right at the beginning of the season. Right.
Some of the SEC teams play. There's usually a doubleheader in Atlanta on that first weekend, and like Clemson playing Alabama. So there are some teams as the playoffs get expanded are willing to look at playing one big time game early, but then there's other teams like Penn State and Indiana. That I mean, Indiana, North Texas, Southeast Louisiana, upstate or something. They look at it as we need to win games, and that's it. We got to be undefeated, or we got to be maybe only one loss that we're not ready to take on. Like you say, where
Yeah.
college basketball is going the other way, where all the teams are now playing. They're playing 5 or 6 big time games before their league because the NCAA tournament committee is basically saying, who did you play? Yeah, we'll take your 5
Yeah.
games. We'll take into consideration your 5 games. But, hey, Notre Dame is a perfect example of they didn't get in last year. Because
Yeah.
they lost to Miami,
Yeah, Bruce. Penn State's first three games: Marshall home, Temple away, and Buffalo home.
Yeah.
So that's what you got. I guess
Buffalo coached by former coach.
Pete Lembo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do they open up with in the Big Ten?
I'm not sure. I just went for the first three games. I'm not positive there. Like I said, I'll see if I can get that.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing is, there are different philosophies by different schools, and some have said, we want to play somebody really good early. If we lose, it's not going
Right.
So, let's face it, you don't want to get too long
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
championship.
uh, they're,
And
they're
hey, USC and Notre Dame got into a ranking contest because USC is in the Big Ten now, and they didn't want to play Notre Dame in the middle of the season with the travel, or they didn't want to do the game on Thanksgiving weekend and all that stuff. And so they switched to Notre Dame. Let's open the season against each other, which I did not have a problem with. Notre Dame supposedly had a problem with that
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So they're not playing.
that's a shame.
USC is playing Louisiana, not LSU. They're playing Louisiana Monroe or Louisiana Lafayette or wherever they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
along with like San Jose State and Fresno. So that's how USC is opening the season with 3 home games against Louisiana, San Jose, and Fresno.
Yeah.
And those Notre Dame games, and a lot of people at USC are very upset at that. They're upsetting Notre Dame. They're upsetting USC. A lot of people blame Lincoln Riley for, I don't want to go to the Midwest, because of travel and blah, blah, blah. But all I know is the college football's greatest international or intersectional rivalry, which started in 1926, is not going to be played. And as a traditionalist, that really bothers me. But,
Things are changing.
Colin Cowherd, like, oh, that's now like USC, Notre Dame,
Yeah.
and Notre Dame beats USC.
Yeah.
They each other, and the fact that they could not get together and figure it all out is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, the Penn State's following 4 games are Wisconsin home, at Northwestern on a Friday night, USC at home, and then they travel to Michigan. So they'll have 4 toughies at the after the end.
Yeah.
Bruce, real quick about baseball, real quick. We got about 3-4 minutes, and I gotta get off. The Phillies last night left Aaron Nola in 2 short, as far as I'm concerned. 84 pitches after 5 innings, and with that kind of bullpen, I could not see the move. And I agreed with I don't know if it was Corky or Jude that well, I think Caleb Kaufman and the manager do wrong is when you bring in a suspect reliever, you're hoping, like last night, Mays is going to have a good game. But as soon as somebody gets on, why can't you get somebody warmed up? So if the guy doesn't have it, you can cut it to 1 or
Yeah.
2 runs and stay in the game instead of giving up 5 runs.
We've talked about bullpens a lot over the years, especially how they're not necessarily talking about the 8th-inning guy and the closer, who usually are pretty good, consistent pitchers. But the other group of the bullpen guys, you don't know from year to year. Tyler Banks is a perfect example. How good he was last year,
Yeah.
and this year he can't get anybody out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody, I think, the Dodgers lost last night to Arizona. Now they have 2 starters they call Snell and Glasnow on pitcher, like they were last year, and they all came back in August. Now they got Otani, who's not going to pitch for a while because of the knee issues looking ahead. Dodgers used 7 guys last night for like 1 inning.
Yep.
And the thing is, the way the game is played now, you're running guys out there almost every day out of your bullpen. And if you're not running them out there, they're one
Yeah.
Yeah, you're killing them. You're basically.
position to the next. Those guys who pitched from the 5th inning through, let's say, the 7th or 8th, you just don't know what you're going to get because, and the wear and tear on their arms. Somebody may not know what they're going to do like Banks did last year. This year, so I think that's one of the things that Phillies
Call from Phoenix.
No.
No.
Monday with the other board meeting.
Yeah, if you can find a plate.
Yeah, Bruce, we'll talk about that more next week. Appreciate you coming on. Bruce Brody, thank you. And thank you to our listeners. And I want to tell you our show was brought to you by Palmer Trophy Awards, Regal Insurance, Mike Fleck Roofing, Marblehead Chowder House, Berkshire Hathaway Rollers, Sam Ruda, College Hill Tavern, Giacomo's Italian Grill, both in Palmer Township and College Hill, Kelly Nissan, #1 dealer in the Lehigh Valley, and one of my all-time favorites, Urco Credit Union. So Bruce Brody, we'll do this again in 3 weeks.
Absolutely, Jack.
And Bruce will be right before the trading deadline. You'll love it.
That's right.
It'll be 2 days before. So circle that date.
Yep.
I guess that would be August 1st. So
Yeah. What day of the week would that be?
the trade deadline's Monday.
Okay.
We'll be on a Saturday morning
Okay.
talking about trades they made or trades they may make.
Yeah.
And
Or
see what
should have made, but
and
didn't.
see and where they're at in the standings. So Bruce, thanks again. Thanks everybody
Yeah,
else.
Bruce, my pleasure once again. I'm so
I
glad
think
to
Bruce.
hear
I
from
think
you.
Bruce dropped off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry. Okay.
Well, talking
He
to
knows that.
Cosmos here.
Okay, so thank you again. See everybody next week. Bye bye now.